Hi, my name is Grace Klausen, and I will be talking about lifetime measurements in arsenic 73. Just a little bit of background. This is the theoretical nuclear landscape. It's basically the periodic table of elements for nuclear physics. And this is the level scheme for arsenic 73, which is the nucleus I studied this summer, which is right about here in the nuclear landscape in a region known as the Wild West due to its physical location on the nuclear landscape and its rapid changes in shape with varying proton and neutrons. So our motivations for studying this was arsenic 71 and copper 67 are both known to be highly deformed due to a band seen in this red box and then in 6 and 7 bands here with a F7 halves band structure. This was not found in arsenic 73, so we were curious as to why that would be. So that's why we delved a little bit deeper into looking for arsenic 73. So in order to study this, we had to perform an experiment. This was done about 5 years ago at Florida State University. We used a nickel 62 target and accelerated carbon 14 into it. This created selenium 76, which decayed to arsenic 73, giving off a proton and 2 neutrons. There are several ways that this arsenic 73 would be in an excited state at this point. So once this arsenic 73 is produced, it can decay down to the ground state in many ways, as seen by this level scheme. By studying the way it decays, we can learn more about the shape and the lifetimes of each energy state. So in order to do this, we use something called the Doppler shift attenuation method and gating. Gating is a process that allows the user to look at decays that occur within a narrow time window of each other and belong to a common decay sequence. So there's 2 types of gating. We can gate from above, which would be selecting an energy state above the transition of interest and looking down at this. And this is the preferred method because then we don't have to take into account side feeding time, which because the way it can decay, the pathway it can take is limited. Gating from below is the other type, and this type you have to account for side feeding time because there are multiple ways the nucleus could decay to that state of interest. These pictures are examples that I got both gating from above and gating from below. With these, I was able to find a relationship between energy and side feeding times, which allowed me to go back and plug in to the gating from below a more accurate side feeding time. So I used these 2 data points that I measured and then 3 data points from selenium 73 literature. So with this, we plotted it and found a line of best fit, and then we plugged in energies for the gating from below and then used that to find the side feeding time. So with these mean lifetimes that we found, we could find the quadrupole deformation parameter, otherwise known as beta 2. And this tells us how close or far away to spherical the nucleus is. So they were inferred from the mean lifetimes and then plotted against the theoretical total Ruthian surface calculations. And the dots are the experimental values and the lines are the theoretical values. So in conclusion, we measured 14 excited states, lifetimes of excited states. From these lifetimes, deformation parameters were inferred and compared to values predicted by the TRS calculations. And from these graphs, we can see that the positive parity does not fit very well. The slope of the theoretical is fairly constant, which means that the the nucleus would be fairly rigid. For this one, the slope is, for the negative parity, the slope is approximately the same, but the experimental has higher deformation than the theoretical.